They're such assholes.
That's going in.
That's totally going in.
Wait, you were actually recording?
Yeah, well, I totally heard that. Yeah. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hop Takes here on Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And today we are continuing our Black Friday preview series on Hop Takes as we dive into a little brewery south of the border in Goose Island and their yearly release of BCS. And when I say south of the border, I mean the Illinois-Wisconsin border, not Mexico. So, we also have Molly joining us from the couch. You can see her hand. It's very, very cool. She's waving. And we do not have early access to any of this year's BCS releases. But we are going to try a 2022 BCS, Bourbon County Stout, the base beer, in celebration of the inevitable acquisition of some of those good beers this year. So for those of you that aren't familiar with BCS, if you're watching this, you probably are. This year they have 6 different variants of Bourbon County Stout coming out. So a little bit of info on those beers. One of the releases is called Angel's Envy. It is a 2-year cask finish version of their Bourbon County Stout. I think that's going to be one of the more rare ones this year. They also have a Bananas Foster Stout, which was previously the 2017 Proprietors. If you're not familiar with Proprietors,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Proprietors is the local Chicago only release that doesn't get distributed outside of the local Chicago area. So, Bananas Foster, interesting adjuncts. An Eagle Rare 2-year reserve. So again, another one of those more difficult ones to acquire, I believe. A Backyard Stout, which is brewed with mulberries. So that one's going to be kind of interesting. I'm curious how that one turns out.
Mulberries?
And then mulberries.
I don't know what that is.
The Bourbon County Original, every year, same base beer, a blend of different whiskey bourbon barrels. Wild Turkey, Four Roses, Heaven Hill, and Buffalo Trace. And then this year's Proprietor Stout, which I believe this year, I'm trying to find it. Can't remember what this one is this year. Regardless, we'll review it on the channel in the future. So we're excited. This is our favorite month of the year. All kinds of great barrel-aged beers being released this month. We're going to crack in to a 2022 Bourbon County Stout right now.
There we go. Get the
Bottle opener. I can already smell the greatness. And I've got my official Bourbon County Stout glass.
I got a Goose Island.
You do?
Taster.
Very cute. All
Thank
right,
you.
so pouring out. It definitely is thinner looking coming out the bottle, but it pours very, very jet black.
Yeah. And as Josh kind of alluded to, as soon as you open it, as soon as you get in the glass, you can already kind of pick up the aromas on it. I mean, it's a pretty strong on the nose when you crack this one open. So
decent lacing, nice kind of pillowy, kind of that darker head that you get on these types of beers and these stouts. To the nose we go.
These hold up really well. Like I know if anyone who's watching this probably knows that, but they're okay to cellar for a few years and they should be fine. It's not some of those beers that we've had in the past where they don't really last after a few years. They should be fine for a little while. So
the base ones are good to age too because they're pretty easy to acquire at this point, and they end up being pretty good a few years down the line. So to the nose. one's almost kind of got like a little bit of a banana bready nose on it to me.
I get what you're saying. I think that's, to me, I'm getting just that's the chocolate fudge more. I know those aren't really like the same flavor, but I get where you're coming from. But I'm getting more of a chocolate. The spirit's pretty forward on this one. You definitely get a bit of a booze note to it.
Yeah, fudgy, kind of that sweet booze character on the nose, but not like heavy on the nose. It's not
no.
not a heavy
I
booze
definitely get what you're
character.
saying with the banana, though. Now that you say that, I'm getting in there. I see what you're saying. So
Yeah, it smells like banana bread to me.
yeah,
So, which is interesting because I don't recall ever getting that out of a
No.
base BCS before. So
all right.
let's try this thing. Cheers.
I mean, super smooth.
Yeah.
As thin as it pours, it's got more viscosity on the palate. It's a thicker beer when you get it and you start drinking it. But I think the thing that always with BCS is it's the smooth.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's full flavored. It definitely drinks thicker than it pours. The viscosity on this beer is definitely a little bit of a tick up from what you think you're going to get as you're pouring it if you haven't tried it before. Yeah, I mean it's very well balanced. It's very consistent from the front to back. There's not a lot of change happening. It's very smooth, creamy. You get kind of some of that. I'm getting a little bit of the banana in the flavor, but not nearly as much as I was getting on the nose. It's just definitely like this is a very chocolatey year for this beer. Fudgy, as you stated. You get some of that bourbon up front, mid palate. You get a little bit more of like the dark fruit, vanilla, like fudgy characteristics, and then it just stays pretty consistent with that out the back end of the beer. This is a good year.
Yeah, it really was. And I think the star of this one is definitely like that chocolate fudginess. And it's good because it doesn't have any of that bitterness that sometimes comes with that chocolate flavor. I think it's some of the vanilla coming off. And it has just a good like barrel aged like tar to it. You can kind of get a little bit of that barrel. You taste it. Not overpowering, zero burn. Like
Yes.
I don't think like it's funny to say like we used to joke around about like, oh, this is a good beer to have for people who are trying to get into barrel aged beers and things like that. This actually is not a bad one to like if you really want to try like to get into a barrel aged beer, this is a good one because you don't really taste the spirit. You don't really taste that heavy barrel. It tastes like it has some adjuncts to it. It really doesn't. It's just a base stout aged in multiple barrels.
They say this develops in the bottle for up to 5 years. I mean, and they're right, it does. I mean, this is one of those beers that definitely lasts. 14.3% on this bottle. For me, I don't know what yours says. They tend to differ, or can.
Where do you get that? Where do you see that? Oh, 14.3. Same thing.
14.3. Yeah, I mean, that's a hefty ABV for what this tastes like.
Oh yeah.
Like really, really good. I know some people have kind of moved away from Goose Island and BCS, and it's not as big of a thing for them. It's very easy to find. It used to be very difficult to acquire a lot of these. They are producing a lot more of them now. In fact, I was seeing a lot of BCS, even some of the harder to find quote unquote variants on shelves months after Black Friday.
I'm still seeing them.
They're still out there.
Excuse me.
But what I will say is they're all worth it.
Yes.
To a degree. I still feel like this base beer is one of the better barrel-aged beer values that's out there. Because a lot of times you can find this for $10, $11 for a 17-ounce bottle. I don't think that's bad at all for this. And quite frankly, this has been, the last few years, the base beer has been on par with some of the heavier variants that they've put out too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I remember like last year, I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the variants. I thought the base was the star. Looking at this year, I'm excited for Bananas Foster. I'm really excited to try that one. I don't know why. haven't had that many banana beers, but I'm excited for that one. I'm hoping that one tastes good. If I get my hands on any like the Eagle Rare Angel Envy, I'll be happy, but I'm not gonna really seek those out too much. But I mean, the only thing I'm surprised this year that they're not doing, I'm a little disappointed, is no barley wine, no wheat wine, it's just all stouts.
Well,
I like.
you are going to get an Angel's Envy, and you are going to get the other 2-year cask because they're included in your Benny's purchase.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at that! All right, well, good. I have to go seek it out then. I'll just get it. I even look at what was in there. So.
Yep.
Yay.
So yeah, every variant, including the proprietors, is included in the one that we're getting at that location. So.
Really?
Yep. And they've already stated, Benny's has already stated, other than I think the 2-year casks, they're going to have plenty of the other variants if you want to purchase multiples, including the base, but then also proprietors in that location too. They're going to have plenty. So.
Perfect.
Well, hey.
All right. Good
silence. The time is coming. It is nearing.
Good as always.
Yeah. Very, very good. Very tasty. Unique nose on this one this year, and a little bit of a unique palate a year in, but still very good. All right. Do we want to rate this thing? Do we want to put it in Untappd?
But we did last year. Do we gotta do it again? Yeah. I mean,
It was
okay, putting it on tap. Where are you going?
It's a 4.25 beer for me.
Exactly where I would put it. So
yeah, we did it.
All right, good job. Go team.
Everybody. Hey, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully you're heading out on Black Friday like us to find all this good stuff. Check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We're on Untappd. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see all of you in the very next episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.